What's up? The reason why we chose this artist is because of his unique way of drawing and also because of our love for comics.
Roy Lichtenstein was nationally known and recognized as a leader in the pop art movement, which also included Andy Warhol during the mid 1950s.
American artist Roy Lichtenstein was born in New York City on October 27, 1923. He grew up on Manhattan's Upper West Side. As a boy growing up on Manhattan's Upper West Side, Lichtenstein had a passion for both science and comics. After his wartime service, Lichtenstein returned to Ohio State in 1946 to finish his undergraduate degree and his master's degree, both in fine arts. In the late 1940s, Lichtenstein exhibited his art in galleries nationwide, including in Cleveland and New York City. In the 1950s, he often took his artistic subjects from mythology and from American history and folklore. His newer work was both a commentary on American popular culture and a reaction to the recent success of abstract expressionist painting. He then emphasized his painting process and his own inner emotion life in his art. He mimicked his borrowed sources right down to an impersonal-looking statistical process that imitated the mechanical printing used for commercial art. His best-known work from this period is Wham!, which he printed in 1963 using a comic book panel from a 1962 issue of a DC comic. He became known for his deadpan humor and his styling, superb way of building signature body of work from mass-produced images. In the 1970s, his focus turned to creating paintings that referred to the art of the early 20th century like Picasso and Salvador Dali. In the 1980s and in the 1990s, he also painted representations of modern house interiors, brushstrokes, and mirror reflections, all in his trademark cartoon-like style. He also began working in sculptures. Also in the 1980s, Lichtenstein received several major large-scale commissions, including a 5-story tall mural for the lobby of the Tower in New York City.
Art had carried references to popular culture throughout the 20th century, but in Lichtenstein's works, the styles, subject matter, and techniques of reproduction common in popular culture appeared to dominate the art entirely. This marked a major shift away from the abstract expressionism, whose often tragic themes were thought to well up from the souls of the artist. However, Lichtenstein's inspirations came from the culture at large and suggested little of his individual feelings. His early work ranged widely in style and subject matter and displayed considerable understanding of modernism painting. Lichtenstein would often maintain that he was as interested in the abstract qualities of his images as he was in their subject matter. However, the mature pop style he arrived at in 1961, which was inspired by comic strips, was greeted by accusations of banality, lack of originality, and later even copying. His high-impact, iconic images have since become synonymous with pop art, and his method of creating images, which blended aspects of mechanical reproduction and drawing by hand, has become central to critics' understanding of the significance of the movement. Some of his more famous works include The Drowning Girl, Hopeless, Look Mickey, and Blam. In one of his earliest works, Drowning Girl, he made use of his technique that he made famous, known as Band-Aid dots. Though they cannot be seen quite clearly, the shading of her face is actually numerous red dots all within one line of each other.
According to Alistair Smart, an art critic, he said that Lichtenstein is usually associated with fun, a key player in pop art's cheeky assault on the swaggering, self-important abstract expressionists who dominated American paintings in the late 50s and early 60s.
Lichtenstein comments on his own work by saying, "I like to pretend that my art has nothing to do with me. Art doesn't transform, it just plain forms. I don't have big anxieties. I wish I did. I'd be much more interesting."